Kaya toko no rai yotoko lo choto no kai. Yoko no rai tutoton ayoto no kai yoshatoi. Iko no toko rai chonoto plato no kayoto la chonoko. Imo roko no ayoto no plio chaikoto. Chaikonto ayo mai shanoto la protonoko yotai kanchanta. Im chokana prai yotolo hitokono. Im krotana ayo plai chotono prikotodo la. You are now fully in communication with us. We have liberated your channeling abilities from all formats of channeling that are not a signature frequency match for you at your soul level, and that was why we were bringing the soul vibration to you at this time, so you could become even more familiarized with what you feel like at that particular level. What you're able to realize now is you can easily remain within the channeling state at this time with your eyes open. And this is because you are in that soul vibration. And when you are in this vibration, it is very challenging for things to pull you out. Understand that this is one of the deepest levels of yourself that you can go. It is from the soul level that the higher self emerges and the inner child emerges, and the past and future and I am present version of the self comes from. Understand it is the soul that is outside of space and time and creates all of these different ideas that you experience as the I am presence being an extension of the soul. The I am presence is quite interesting because it can experience itself at the apex of the moment, and it can look into the past, and it can look into the future, and it can see past and future selves, which again are just projections of that soul consciousness. It can also receive wisdom from the higher self and synchronicity guiding it along its path. But remember, that higher self comes again from that soul level, projecting the higher self into the reality experience as a guiding beacon for the soul. So understand, the soul already knows what it's signed up for. It already understands the bigger picture. It has its agendas already written, and it has its life path already determined. It extends the higher self then into the reality experience to help guide the I am presence personality, the ego consciousness, through that journey. And the I am presence that's on the level of the ego consciousness then receives the experience and transmits that direct learned experience back to the soul level. So the soul is in a constant state of learning, and the ego goes and takes that information in and transmits it as a perceiver back to the soul. And the I am presence is the interface between the ego, higher self, and the soul, experiencing itself traveling linearly through space and time. And it is that I am presence that is then able to look at past selves and future selves in terms of memory and imagination into the future. That is the I am presence. So you have now understood very mechanistically how the soul functions, how the past and future selves function. They are just previous and future points of view of the I am presence. With that being said, we will now get into the mechanics of the I am presence and understand this I am presence expands itself into both the future and the past. But these do not exist linearly. These are all different points of view of that same I am presence. But because it's happening in different situations with different stimuli, these points of view, they're happening in different locations, different people, different stimuli, you experience them as different versions of that same I am presence. It looks like a continuation. You say, oh, I'm here in the past, so I'm moving a little bit forward in the past, and a little bit more forward until I'm at the present moment. But in reality, each of those different perspectives are different selves all together. And because space and time are not intrinsically real, this I am presence is actually multiple, infinite, different I am presences, all experiencing the here and now from their own unique points of view, all experiencing this at the exact same time as you are experiencing your ever-present moment as the apex I am presence. So this you is that version that is at the top of the hierarchy because you exist in the present moment. The future connects backwards in time to send healing and information and guidance to this present moment. And the past sends information forward in time to advise and guide the I am presence, the apex. So you have all of these gifts coming from these different reality experiences reaching you now in the present moment. But remember, when we say they are reaching through time, that's not really how it's working. Think of them coming from their own bubbles. One bubble is sending energy to you, another bubble is sending energy to you. They're not on a track saying, oh, this one's back here and it's now transmitting up. It's almost like they're right next to you. And this one's saying, oh, I'm going to give you some, oh, I'm going to give you some. And you're right in the middle, receiving all of that. So that's mechanistically what is happening when you're experiencing time. It's also what is happening when you are experiencing issues from the past or from the future. Now, what do I mean when I say experiencing issues from the past or from the future? Well, it's a great question. When you're experiencing an issue from the past, it's not that something has happened and it's injured you in the past. That reality experience is still happening as its own reality, with its own future and its own past. And it's part of different I am presences going through their unique reality experiences at the same time that you, as the apex of the I am presences, is having this experience in the now. So that means that time you were traumatized as a child, that's happening right now. And there is unresolved karma there. And that's why it rears its head and affects you in the present. That reality is sending information to you. So you, in this moment of the now, can act accordingly to be able to send healing to that reality. Because that's one of your major abilities, to heal across time, which you can do very effectively as the apex in the I am moment. In addition to this too, not only is it asking you for healing, but it also is going to have some kind of ancestral I am wisdom to give you to help you along this journey. So when you find that you have things from your past asking to be healed, it's a double. Not only is it asking you for something, but it also is something it wants to give you in return for that healing. Now, what about the future? Because the future we understand as more mysterious. The future is not yet created. The past is what is created, we say. And the now is what is in creation. But the future has not been created yet, right? Not so. Infinite versions of the future exist. Infinite versions of the reality unfolding exist. But certain ones don't happen. Only a particular one for you, as the I Am Presence experiencing linear space-time, is able to then occur for that I Am Presence, that is you. You experience one crystallization of the future probability and possibility into an experience. So, what do we say about when the future is reaching backward in time? Well, keep in mind, there are infinite future realities and future versions of you. Some of them exist as probabilities, some of them exist as possibilities. Oftentimes, they will work as a team to be able to reach back to you in the now. And some of them who are undergoing reality experiences they don't want will purposefully send things back to you to prevent you from making the same choices they made to get them to the reality experience that they don't prefer. Other ones, however, may become resentful of you for being in the now and for being at a point in that I Am Presence's space and time development where they had so much freedom, and this future version of you is actually resentful, and it will try to sabotage you in the now. And that's something to be aware of, too, that can happen. A future version of yourself can attempt to sabotage you in the now because it so badly wants to be here. There's the other version of you in the now that has gone through the reality experience so desired, so juicy, so vibrant and full of life that it says, I want this for my present self. I want this for my past self. I love this experience so much, I wish to give it. So this future I Am Presence will then send through time, or rather from one reality to another, the information needed and the synchronicity and signs needed to reach that I Am Presence in the present, so it can then migrate into that future reality. That is essentially what you would call the higher self. But remember, the higher self is made different, it's differentiated from just a normal future self, because the higher self is that constant, ever-changing flow of future selves that stretch further and further and further and further into the sea of possibilities. And they are like the voyagers. They're going as far as they can go. And they're experiencing and they're basking in the radiance of existence, charting their course, following as far as they can into creation that vibration of the soul. And they then transmit back words through their journey across all of those different reality experiences that I Am Presence will have until it reaches the future selves, and they're transmitting it back, and eventually it reaches the present self. The present, the apex of the I Am Presence, as it reaches that present self. So that present self is getting guidance from the future selves, but they are ultimately getting their guidance from the higher self, which has gone all the way to the end of the journey already. The higher self is essentially the supervisor for the soul in the I Am Presence's experience of life. We hope this has been educational for you. Please know you can come to this spot anytime and do a variety of sessions here. People will love them. Thank you.